Hello students. Today we are going to discuss the topic muscular tissues from the chapter 2 of class 9th biology, which is tissues. Now as you know, the tissues which are found in animals body, they are of mainly four types, that are epithelial tissues, muscular tissues, nervous tissues and connective tissues. Here in this video we are going to discuss about the muscular tissues. This is the kind of tissue which is only found in animals, and as you know, the plants and animals are very different from each other in terms of movement, because you know that the plants cannot move, they are fixed at one place, but the animals are the organisms which can move from one place to another place, and this quality differentiate the animals from the plants. So the movement which occur in the animal's body, that movement is due to the presence of this special kind of tissue, which is muscular tissue. So you can say that the tissues which are responsible for the movement in the animal's body, that tissues are called as muscular tissues. So these are very important and a special kind of tissues which differentiate the animal's body from the plants. Because of the presence of the muscular tissues, the animals can move, their body parts can move, the whole body can move of the animals from one place to another place. As you know, we the human beings also have this kind of tissues, and we also can move, our body parts can move. Some body parts can move according to our will, and some body parts are automatically move, means they are not under the control of our conscious mind. So, and one kind of muscle, or you can say one organ which is so uncontrolled, means that are not under our conscious will, and it works and works and works, it keeps on working from the beginning of the formation of body till the death, and that organ is our heart. So heart is also an organ which is made up of muscles, and it keeps on working. So some kind of muscles that are under our will, means we can move according to our will, and some kind of muscles are there which cannot move, according to our will. So on the basis of these things, in human beings there are three types of muscles. Okay, the first one is voluntary muscles, second one is involuntary muscles, and third one is cardiac muscles. So one by one we will discuss about the characteristic and the function and the location of these muscles in our body. So let's start. The first kind of muscles which are found in our body, or you can say the first kind of muscular tissue, is known as voluntary or striated muscles. What are these muscles? These muscles consist of the cells with long, narrow, cylindrical and unbranched fibers. The cells which are present in the muscles, The cells which are present in the muscles are fiber-like. They are like fiber, means they are long, narrow and cylindrical. You know, the fiber is how they look like. So just like the fiber, they are the cells which are found in our muscles. They are long and narrow and cylindrical. So here in the voluntary muscles, the cells which are present here, they are also long, narrow and cylindrical, and they are unbranched. You have to keep this in your mind. The cells which are present in the voluntary or striated muscles, they are unbranched. Okay, and these cells show the alternate dark and light bands. This is the characteristic feature of the voluntary or striated muscles. That is, they have dark and light bands, which is called striation, and hence they have gotten their name, striated muscles, because they show the striations, means dark and light bands. That's why they are called striated muscles. And the next characteristic feature of the voluntary or striated muscles is they are multinucleated, means they have more than one nucleus in a single cell. So this is also a very important feature of the voluntary or striated muscles. Why they are called as voluntary muscles? Because of the characteristic, that is, they are under our will, means we can move these kind of muscles according to our will and want. Whenever we want to move, we can move these muscles. That's why they are called voluntary muscles. Okay, just like your limbs, hands and legs, your tongue, okay, your lips, okay, in these organs you have the muscles which you can control. Okay, the movement of these organs you can control, like you can control your hand, the movement of your hand, you can control the movement of your leg, you can control the movement of your neck, you know, you can control the movement of your tongue. When you speak, you move your tongue and lips according, your jaws according to your will. So these kind of muscles, they are called voluntary, because according to your will, according to your want, whenever you want, you can move it. Okay, so they are under your control. That's why. So the location of these muscles, you can write, they are present in the body wall. Okay, they are present in the limbs. Limbs mean in your hand and in your legs, in your tongue, in your pharynx, the first starting portion of your food pipe through which you engulf, swallow the food, that is called pharynx. So you can swallow the food and the food material according to your will. So hence the pharynx have the voluntary muscles. Okay. Now they are also called as skeletal muscles. You have to remember this. They are also called skeletal muscles. Voluntary or striated muscles are also called as skeletal muscles. Why they are called as skeletal muscles? Because these muscles are generally found attached with our skeletal system, with our bones. Skeletal system, what is this system? This system is the framework of the bones, you know, and the muscles, the voluntary muscles are attached to the bones. Hence, when we contract these muscles, so the bone moves and our body parts move. Okay, so that's why they are called skeletal muscles. So here you can see the structure of the muscle fiber of the striated muscles. Look, you can see here they are long, narrow, cylindrical, and they are multinucleated. They are having more than one nucleus in a single fiber, in a single cell. And you can see the striation, the dark and light band. Okay, you can see here. So that's why they are called striated muscles. Now one thing you have to know that the the membrane which is present in the muscle cell, that the cell membrane which is present in the muscle cell is known as sarcolemma. Okay, and the cytoplasm which is found in the muscle fiber or muscle cell is known as sarcoplasm. Okay, this is the another special term given to the cell membrane of the muscle cell and to the cytoplasm of the muscle cell. So you have to know, remember this. So this is all about the voluntary or striated muscles. Here you can write the function. The function is the movement, simply they move, but the movement is special because they can move according to our will. Okay, so this is all about the voluntary or striated muscles. Now the next we will discuss about the involuntary muscles. Now we will talk about the involuntary muscles, the second kind of muscles, which is also called as smooth muscles because they lack striations. In the first one you have studied about that. In the voluntary muscles or striated muscles, they show the dark and light bands, means striations, but in this case the striations are absent. That's why they look smooth and that's why they are called smooth muscles. Here the another characteristic feature of the muscle fiber of the involuntary muscles is they are spindle shaped, means they are pointed at the ends. Here in this diagram you can see they are spindle shaped, they are pointed at the ends. Okay, arranged in bundles. The fiber, the muscle cells of the involuntary muscles, they are arranged in bundles and they are uninucleated. This is another characteristic feature. They are uninucleated, means they are having single nucleus in each cell. Okay, and they are also called unstriated, simple because they do not have a striation. Okay, now let's see the location of this kind of muscle. They are found in the iris of the eye, in the ureter, in the bronchi of the lungs. So if you notice this iris of the eye, this ureter, this bronchi of the lungs, these organs or part of the organs are working without our conscious control. Okay, means we do not control the function, the movement of these organs consciously, means they are controlled by the unconscious way of our will, and hence you can say they are not under our will, and that's why they are called involuntary. We cannot stop or start their actions. Getting? Means they are not under our control, means we cannot stop or start their the action of these kind of muscles. They initiate and stop according to the need. Okay, according to the command of our brain, and they work according to themselves. Like your stomach, the movement occurs in your stomach, we cannot control it. We cannot control the movement of the stomach. As the food enters in the stomach, it starts moving. As the digestion stops, the movement also stops. So we cannot control it. Okay, we cannot control it. It is working according to their need, and that's why they are called involuntary. Okay, so the last type of muscles we will discuss here, and that is cardiac muscles. Very special kind of muscles and exclusively found in only one organ, that is called heart. So what is the characteristic feature of the muscle fiber of cardiac muscles? These are cylindrical and these are branched. Okay, these are branched, uninucleated, and they form interconnecting network. They are branched, so where the place where two fibers meet, they make interconnecting network. Like this you can see here in this diagram. The muscle filaments are connected by dark junctions called intercalated disc. Okay, and that disc act as impulse booster. So what are you getting from these points? It is saying that, as you know, this cardiac muscle is the characteristic feature of the heart only. Cardiac muscle is found only in our heart, which keeps on working automatically, independently throughout the life. Okay, so we cannot stop or initiate the movement of the heart. It automatically initiated from the beginning of the life of our body, and it keeps on working. So the impulse, the initiation of the movement in the heart that are caused by the intercalated disc, which is found in the heart cardiac muscles, and this is the characteristic feature of the cardiac muscles, the intercalated disc, which act as impulse booster. As you know, our heart move rhythmically, it contracts and relax, and so that it can pump the blood in our body. So this rhythmic contraction and relaxation brought by the intercalated disc found in the cardiac muscles, which make them very special and important too. So cardiac muscles are the characteristic feature of the organ heart, and the fibers which are found in the cardiac muscles, they are cylindrical, branched and uninucleated. They form the interconnecting network, and the filaments are connected by the dark junction called intercalated disc. This disc is the impulse booster, initiate the contraction and relaxation. Here you can see the diagram. These are the single fibers which are branched, and they have striation too, and uninucleated, having single nucleus in each cell. Okay, now if you want to write the location, what will you write? Only one location. The location is exclusively present in the heart. Okay, cardiac muscles are present only in only one organ, and that is heart. Okay, functions, what can you write in the functions? They work rhythmically, tirelessly, contracting and relaxation endlessly to maintain the flow of blood. So here you can say they work rhythmically, they contract and relax in a rhythmic manner, tirelessly means they do not get tired, they never get tired. If they will get tired, the life will be ended. So they contract and relax endlessly throughout the life, till the end of the life, means till the death. Okay, what do they do? By rhythmic contraction and relaxation in the heart, they pump the blood. Okay, they maintain the flow of blood. As you know, the work of our heart is to pump the blood, na? So this is. Now we will compare these three muscles. So if you see the striated, unstriated and cardiac muscles, means voluntary, involuntary and cardiac muscles. So here the comparison is the striated muscles are unbranched. Okay, they are unbranched. Unstriated muscles are also unbranched, and cardiac muscles are branched. Okay, so this is the difference. Now striated muscles are multinucleated. They have more than one nucleus in a single cell. Here unstriated muscles are uninucleated. Okay, cardiac muscles are also uninucleated. Striated muscles show striations, means they show the dark and light bands. Okay, unstriated muscles, they do not have striations. Cardiac muscles, they have the striation, but it is very faint. Okay, very faint, light striations. And the next feature is cardiac muscles has the intercalated disc, impulse booster, as we had studied earlier. Now the unstriated muscles do not have intercalated disc. Striated muscles also do not have intercalated disc. So this is the difference between the striated, unstriated and cardiac muscles. Okay, now you can write the next difference is that striated muscles are voluntary, means they can work according to our will. Okay, unstriated muscles are involuntary, means they are not under control of our will. They work according to the need, automatic they work. Okay, now cardiac muscles, they are also involuntary. You know one thing about the voluntary muscles, because they are voluntary, we move it according to our will, and hence they get tired. The difference, the very unique difference between the striated and unstriated and cardiac muscles, this fatigue. They show fatigue. The striated muscles or voluntary muscles show fatigue. They get tired, as you can feel when you work by your hand and legs continuously. After some time, you feel fatigue. You feel tiredness. But in case of involuntary muscles, they don't get tired. Okay, like your stomach, it doesn't get tired. Your intestine, your lungs, they do not get tired, so they do not have the phenomenon of fatigue. And as you know, the cardiac muscles, they work tirelessly, okay, throughout the life. They do not get tired, they don't show fatigue throughout the life. So now this is all about the muscular tissues, what we had discussed here. We had discussed there are a special kind of tissues found in the animal body, which brings the movement, and hence you can say the muscular tissues are responsible for the movement in the animal body. And some muscles can move according to our will, some are independent. So according to that, we have categorized the muscles into three types. First one is voluntary muscles, second one is involuntary muscles, and third one is cardiac muscles. Okay, so we had discussed all about. I hope this is clear. That's all about this video. Thank you.